As torchbearers greet the King's Canoe. The event marks the opening ceremonies of the 41st annual Waikiki Ho'olaulea. There's lots of good food and great entertainment. And speaking of great entertainment, I'll be at the Outrigger Hotel's main stage tonight along with some of the best local Hawaiian bands in town. So come and give me a hard time, but enjoy this year's Waikiki Ho'olaulea. Well, he was born in Chicago, but has called Hawaii home for the past 5 years. After graduating from the University of Illinois, he conceived and implemented the first classical guitar program ever taught at the university. Currently, he's performing at the Ship's Tavern at the Moana Surfrider Hotel. Please welcome Winston Tan to our morning news. Good morning, Winston.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being with us.
It's early for me.
I know it's early. You said you've never played the guitar this early, but there's always a first time.
I played last night, though.
That's right, just a few hours ago. You studied under classical guitarist John Williams in London, and you were the first person to implement the classical guitar program at the University of Illinois. What do you see as the importance in this art?
Well, guitar, you know, traditionally has been just a popular instrument, and it hasn't been considered as a serious instrument. You know, you have violin and piano, that's like one school. And there's a whole generation of people now that play guitar, and you know, it's the resources of the instrument are just being tapped. I mean, it doesn't have a history like piano where people have studied it for decades, and so just players like myself and other younger players are, you know, they're transcribing works. We have a lot of new music to play, and it's you know, a very good instrument to just express all sorts of music.
The program is still ongoing at the University of Illinois.
I'm much more a performer, and I've also, you know, traveled around concertizing, and I came here on a vacation and
stayed.
Yeah, and I'm doing what I love. So
we were talking about the Joy Luck Club. Amy Tan, you were born in Chicago from an Asian family. There's a lot of traditional stereotypes. You're expected to become a doctor or a lawyer, but you were telling me you were a renegade early on.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same kind of pressure, you know. In fact, I should have been a surgeon like Amy Tan. And
no relation, though.
No.
Okay.
But she's a writer, and I think there was an article about a week ago, and she actually has a lot of the same. There's like a simpatico. I mean, overachievers. Your parents always say, "Well, how come you got the 1 C and there's 4 A's?" You know, they always look at the one thing, and they always want you to do better than.
But you were always pushed into going into being something else, not into the arts.
Yeah, and that's, I think, why I'm so adamant about being successful in music, which I am, but it's taken me longer than usual because I don't have the traditional support system that, say, a typical European child would have, you know, with encouraging music. Because all my Asian friends, which I don't have a lot of, but the Asian culture that I know about, I mean, music is not considered a, you know, a thing to pursue.
Speaking of music, you have an 8-string guitar. You've added 2 bass strings. How does that make the music different?
Okay. Well, traditionally, just to play classical music, because traditionally guitar is a folk instrument, and because classical music is transcribed from like piano and orchestral music, you really can't play it or do it justice. So by having these, I can play Bach and Beethoven and all the good stuff.
Everything.
Right.
We're going to hear some of your music because you're going to take us into the weekend. Winston Tan, you're performing almost every night at the Sheraton Surfrider.
I'll be there tonight, so if you want to hear some guitar music.
Okay, Winston, thank you. We'll be looking forward to some of your stylings in just a minute.
Thanks.
Leslie Howard.
Right.
I've also seen him play at weddings and always running up and down Ala Moana Boulevard here.
With his guitar?
Yeah. No, not with the guitar. He's just a busy guy, though. But he sings while he runs. Maybe I noticed that. Anyway, no ordinary Joe is on the phone, eh?
That's right, Joe Typo, but he's